Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be testing out and reviewing a new concealer from Tarte. This is their Maracuja Creaseless Creamy Concealer, which maracuja, I just learned is Portuguese for passion fruit, so Portuguese word of the day. Now this retails for $30 US and you can find it in 30 different shades. I grabbed 35N to test out today. I was gonna grab my usual 35H, I believe, but they don't have that. 35H is what I use for my Tarte Shape Tape. That's like the Radiant, the Creamy, and the original, but they don't have that for this formula. Now, if we can rewind a few years ago, I already reviewed this same name of a concealer, but the formula, I went into Sephora and I actually swatched both formulas. I don't know if they're discontinuing the old formula or what, because that formula and this formula, same name, different formulas. Does that make sense? They already had a Maracuja Creaseless Concealer that I reviewed years ago and I hated it. I hated it with a passion. It was so creamy and it was thick, but not in a good way. And it settled in between all of my fine lines underneath my eyes. It was just messy, okay? I did not care for it. Needless to say, I never wore it again. But this one, I'm assuming is supposed to be like their better version. I looked all over their website and it doesn't really, I didn't look that hard, honestly. So maybe it's on there, but I didn't see anything to indicate what the difference is between that concealer and this concealer. Since like I said, they're both named exactly the same. The formula just, when I swatched both side by side, it did seem different. And Sephora was completely out, just cleaned out, even testers and everything of the old formula. They only had 5 little concealers that I was able to actually swatch next to this formula, but everything else was gone. So I'm assuming that they're discontinuing it, but who knows, who knows? As far as the details, it is supposed to be a creamy formula that provides full coverage. It says full coverage in the description, but Sephora specifically has it listed as a medium coverage concealer. So not really sure which one's true. We'll find out. It does deliver a natural finish and it's gonna give us a smoother, brighter, crease-proof under eye. You guys know how I feel about that. Nothing is creaseless under the eyes. It's just, ugh, but whatever. The box states it provides 24 hours of hydration, 12-hour wear time, 12-hour crease proof, and waterproof. So we're gonna test it out, see what it looks like underneath the eyes, see how much coverage we actually do get out of this concealer. And yeah, I also purchased their new creaseless setting powders. They didn't have the pink one, which I was kind of bummed out about because I wanted to try the pink one just for the brightening effect. However, when you go on the website and you look at the pink one, that one's specifically listed for fair to light complexions. And so I grabbed the one that's listed for my complexion, which is light to medium. And this is in the shade yellow. And then I also grabbed the lavender shade because this cancels out yellow. So if the under eye area ends up looking a little bit too yellow, we just pop a little bit of this on top of it and that should take care of it. Now they also launched correctors and I was going to purchase the peach corrector, the peach and orange or something like that. I was going to purchase both of them to wear alongside this concealer, but you guys know how I feel about variables. I want to make sure that I'm only testing out one product at a time to know exactly if that one product works for me or if it doesn't, because I usually only use the one new product at a time. Because if I use it with the other stuff that I know works on my skin, then I obviously know what the culprit is if it doesn't work out. And so I don't like to mess with that too much. So anyway, if this works out, then I will go ahead. And even if it doesn't, I think I'm going to purchase it anyway and then just test it on its own to see, we can never have too many good correctors. So let's get started. Today, I'm going to test this out the way that I normally test out all of my concealers, which you guys know is going to be with and without a color corrector placed underneath it. They do describe it as being full coverage. However, it's listed as medium coverage. Let's find out what we get both with a corrector underneath and without. Since this is going to be a more hydrating formula, or it is described as being a more hydrating formula, I'm going to put it on top of this color corrector. This is from Huda Beauty. This is her faux filter corrector in the shade Peach. So let's jump right into it. We're going to go ahead and color correct this under eye area first. I'm going to blend it out with my finger. Okay, quick and easy. Now I'm gonna jump off camera really quickly since I do foundation before concealer. So I'm gonna take care of that off camera and I will be right back to conceal these dark circles. All right, I am back. Foundation is on. Let's get started. As far as how to use it, pretty straightforward. You just apply it underneath the eye and you can blend it out with either a brush or a sponge. I'm going to be using a brush today, the number 71 from Sephora to be exact. It is like the perfect, along with like the Mario concealer brush. Anyway, I'll leave like some of my favorite concealer brushes down in the description box below. They are affiliate links, so if you choose to purchase through that link, I make a small commission. You get a really good brush. We both win, you know? So we're gonna start off over on the right first. I'm not gonna go too heavy with this because it does state that this is a hydrating formula and I don't wanna overdo it and then have it move around on me and get crazy. So we're gonna start light with it, and then if I need to add a little bit more, then maybe I'll add a little bit more, but I'm hoping that I won't need to add any more. Okay, all right. Look at that. That worked out really nicely. It looks really nice and hydrated. Doesn't look overly done whatsoever. I'm gonna add just the tiniest bit. Oh, and the shade. The shade's also like not too yellow. I find that some neutrals tend to look a little bit more yellow than they do neutral. Fortunately, this is not one of them. I'm gonna apply it just a little bit more right here to cover up kind of like that hollow line between my under eye area and my cheek. I like doing that because it gives the illusion of like a fuller under eye. Look at that. Holy cow. Okay. All right. So there is one side done. Definitely full coverage with a corrector. Absolutely. This is concealing everything. And it looks really nice and hydrated. Now, will it settle in between fine lines? I'm guessing yes, but we'll see. I'm gonna let it sit underneath the eyes for a little bit to see whether or not it's going to settle into fine lines. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take care of the left side and see how much coverage we get with the concealer by itself without any help from a corrector. So I'm just gonna, again, apply it a little bit there. And then I might do a little bit more. Okay, with just the one layer, it concealed quite a bit. I definitely would put this in the medium coverage category with just the one layer on its own, but doesn't have any help from a corrector. So we should take that into consideration. And just like with the right side, I'm gonna apply a little bit more right there. I'm not gonna take this layer though. I don't bring it all the way up to the waterline or the lash line. I try to keep this one just a little bit further down, and it overlaps the foundation that I'm wearing. That's why I do foundation and then concealer. Okay, so there it is, both sides concealed. Personally, as of right now, it feels like I'm getting a very similar amount of coverage underneath both eyes. What do you guys think? Let me know. There's a little bit of settling going on over here and also over here. So I am gonna set this, and I'm gonna set it very lightly with the yellow powder. Hopefully it's not too yellow though, because that has happened. This is what it looks like. I love the packaging. Look at that lavender. Oh, it's so pretty. So pretty. Okay, so let's take this out and look at this little powder puff. It's like the tiniest little, perfect for the under eye area, of course. I also found some from Real Techniques. Real Techniques has really nice, tiny little powder puffs. This is what they look like. The Real Techniques one, obviously, this is dirty, so I need to wash it. But it's like the perfect size. You just put your finger in it and like both under eye areas. I love this. Love it. Okay, but that's not what we're using today. We're using the one from Tarte. So I'm gonna set this very, very lightly. I don't want this to look cakey or like too much. Although, you know what? It looks really nice. I don't know if I should set it with the powder puff or with a brush. Okay, we're gonna do a brush. Do I even need to set this? I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna set it. I'm gonna set it very lightly. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of the powder, just kind of tap off the excess onto the back of my hand so that by the time it gets to my under eye area, there's not a ton of powder left on this. I don't know if I love this because I feel like the powder got rid of like the brightening effect underneath the eyes, especially if you compare it, you see like here versus here. But, oh, it is looking a little yellow. Darn you. I knew that it might, well, I didn't know, but I figured it might look a little yellow, so that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna set both under eye areas, okay? And then I'm gonna use a little bit of the lavender one. That's why I got the lavender one. So it's okay, it's okay. So then again, shaking off the excess and just setting this very lightly. Yeah, it does look a little yellow. I feel like I lost a little bit of coverage just with setting it with that shade. That's okay though. Let's move on to the lavender shade. So again, just taking a little bit of the lavender shade, shaking off the excess, tapping it in the back of my hand. And that I'll concentrate like right here because that's where it seems to have gotten a little yellow. Oh, that's better. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. We saved it. We saved it. Again on this side. This is gonna be great. This little lavender powder, it's gonna be really nice when I run into this issue again. Because I do have setting powders that I really like in my collection, but they do what that one did underneath the eyes. It like just completely makes the under eye look yellow. And then, you know, it's not very wearable that way. Because if you just have like a yellow under eye area and nothing else, it's gonna be noticeable a little bit. All right, so now that we've set the under eye area and we are ready to continue on with the rest of my makeup, I'm going to zoom you in so that you can see exactly what we are starting with at the beginning of the day after setting it. All right, so this is the under eye area up close and personal. This is the side with the color corrector placed underneath. And this is the side without a color corrector. I feel like I'm getting a little tiny bit more coverage over on this side than I am on this side, but this side, for not having a corrector, looks really concealed to me. All right, so I'm gonna jump off camera one more time just to finish the rest of my makeup for the day, and I will be right back. All right, I am back. Makeup is done. So far, so good, okay? I don't wanna get ahead of myself, but so far, so good. Definitely better than the first one, okay? Than the first time around. This time, everything looks pretty nice underneath the eyes. It doesn't look heavy. It doesn't feel heavy. It feels very, very lightweight, and it's concealing quite well. So let's wear it today and see what we get. It is currently 11:47 in the morning. I do plan on wearing this per usual all day long, and I am going to come back halfway through the day to show you guys some close-ups under natural lighting and to see what this concealer is doing up to that point. It is supposed to be raining today. We are going to be in the high 90s or mid 90s, so high humidity, high heat. I do plan on, just living my life. So we're going to put it to the test. We'll see how the under eye area holds up. I know that it says that it's waterproof, but I don't need it in the water. I need it in the humidity and I need it out and about. So let's see what it wears like. And yeah, I'll see you back here in a few hours for a quick midday check-in. All right, I am back for a quick midday check-in. It is currently 4:37. So I've had this on for a good 5 hours, I think, by now. This is what the color corrected side looks like underneath the eyes. And this is the side that we did not color correct. I think they're still I think it still looks really nice. It still looks pretty nice. It has not broken up. It has not worn off. Okay. And it has been really, really humid outside. I mean, we had thunderstorms rolling through. I think there's more coming. It's quite overcast. I went to the grocery store and it was super, super hot. Even just the tiny little walk from the parking lot into the store and then back, it was so hot and humid. So anyway, and I have been out with the dogs out back. So all this to say that I have been out in the elements and it's hot and it's humid. And of course I was sweating and the under eye area still looks pretty good. So, all right, I'm not going to get too ahead of myself, but we are going to continue to wear this for another 4 hours or so, just to give it a nice long day. And yeah, we'll see what we're left with. So I will see you back here in a few more hours for my final check-in of the day. All right, I am finally back for my end of day check-in. It is currently 8:51. I've had this concealer on all day long. Now, before I get into what I think about this concealer after testing it out for an entire day, I'm going to zoom you guys in one last time so that you can get a good close-up look at the under eye area after, gosh, how long has it been? 9 hours? 9 hours of wear. Pretty sure it's been 9 hours. Let me zoom you in. All right, so here we are, up close and personal. This is the side that was color corrected at the beginning of the day. And this is the side that was not color corrected. And here they are side by side. All right, so now that I've worn the concealer all day, what do I think? I think that this may actually be, dare I say, better than Shape Tape, much better than Shape Tape. I don't know. I don't want to call it my new favorite because granted, I've only tried it for one entire day, but it is such a good concealer. They have completely redeemed themselves with this one, okay, over the first Maracuja Creaseless Concealer from years back. This is a much better version, much, much better version. It just wears beautifully. It provides an intense high level of coverage, okay, even without a corrector. Granted, you can still see, obviously some of my dark circles kind of peeking through, but I think that they look the same. Both sides look very similar to one another. It did not break up. It did not crease up heavily. It did not wear off. It looks really nice. It doesn't look excessively dry either, and I did set it. And that's one thing that the Shape Tape does tend to do, is look excessively dry. Now that I'm almost 40, I tend to gravitate more toward something that's gonna be higher coverage, granted maybe not full, but higher coverage, but also just isn't as drying underneath the eye area. The Shape Tape definitely can do that, okay? Which is why you guys don't really see me wearing it anymore. It's just not as flexible as I would like it to be. This one, however, they did it. They did it with this one. Absolutely. I would definitely say that you can achieve full coverage with this. Full or even high, medium, or full coverage for sure. I love the fact that you can wear this all over the face. That's one thing that I forgot to mention in the morning, is that this is not only meant for the under eye area, it is meant for the entire face. So if you want to just spot conceal for the entire day, if you want to just take care of a little bit of under eye darkness and maybe you have a few blemishes, but the rest of your skin looks great, this would be perfect for that, as it does seem to stay on, or it did stay on the entire day. It didn't go anywhere. It really stayed looking really nice. And the one true benefit that I always appreciate in any product that goes around the eyes, especially the under eye area, is that it feels so lightweight. It feels like nothing. It really truly feels like I don't have much of anything at all underneath the eyes. And so with all of those things considered and combined, this is absolutely a concealer worth trying. Definitely worth trying. I like it. I love it. I really, really do. I love the way that it looks. I love the way that it wore. I love the amount of coverage. And I love the fact that, yeah, I applied a couple of layers, but they're very minimal, lighter layers, in my opinion. It doesn't look heavy. It doesn't look excessive. It doesn't look cakey. It doesn't look super dry. It's a really good one. It's a really good one. I really, really like it. So that completes today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I truly hope that you enjoyed today's product review and that you found it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on future videos. And also don't forget to follow me over on Instagram, where I absolutely love to interact with you guys. As always, take care, and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah! Bye.